So Professor David Hughes, one of the consumer megatrends you touched on was obesity.
Yeah.
How important do you think obesity will be, or the desires to maintain healthy weight or lose weight? How important do you think that will be in Asia over the course of the next decade?
It's going to be a big deal, and actually, of course, dairy products have a role to play in satiety and weight management. If we look at whey-based products, for example, I mean, within my own market, it's moved on from muscle-bound weightlifters, and if I take my own age range, the over 60s, for goodness sake, that's on the other end of the scale, where I'm sort of wasting away and I'm desperate to maintain muscle mass. And so I'm looking to dairy to help me out there. Actually, it's more than dairy. As I was mentioning earlier, this move towards plant protein, which just really does fascinate me. And it seems to me that it's unstoppable. If I look around the world, there's terrific opportunities in plant-based protein.
One of the increasing features of our world is pandemics and epidemics and things that really influence consumer moods and behaviours. Mm-hmm. What role do you think food will have in providing protection against colds and flus and common infections?
Yeah, I think we've got an awful lot to learn from China in this regard. It's without escaping that question, I'm always completely intrigued when I'm in China that you can sit down and every item of food that you consume there has a very specific health benefit, and they're about to tell you. And I think we're learning from them. So there's that sort of aspect of traditional medicine or traditional health and well-being through what you eat. I mean, after all, for thousands of years we've understood that you are what you eat, etc. And then there's the sort of scientific end too, which, as I understand it, that increasingly the products will be sort of better tuned to meet the very specific health requirements that we have. Perhaps not in my day, but further down the pike.
So one of the areas that is of extreme importance to New Zealand is infant formula. How do you believe New Zealand can grow that market and achieve some degree of diversification in that infant category?
Well, you came late to it with regard to branding. If you look at the Danone, Mead Johnson, Nestle, etc., I mean, they were early into it, not least Nestle, very early into it. And what was the basis? It was milk powder from New Zealand with a little bit of pixie dust, which actually delivers the margin. But it's a very sensitive area. Just you can't sort of magic up a brand which is directed at babies. There's no greater requirement for food safety and for high integrity than when it comes to baby food. So that back to, you've got to start with your clean and green. I think you're in a great place to start, but then building brands associated with that just takes time. And also, you've got to have brand building in your DNA. That's a big level of investment. If I look at the better brand builders, they're willing to spend 5-7% of total revenues on promotion, on market development, and that's something we've never had in our DNA in New Zealand.
So one of the things that you've talked about is the importance of branding and the importance of country image. How important do you think the branding of the research can be in helping drive and develop that market?
Well, I would imagine that sort of the research branding is likely as important as the provenance of the food itself, that increasingly inquisitive consumers want to know where is the evidence, where does the evidence come from, has it been skewed? And to the extent that they understand different research entities, they would want to be reassured that it comes from some sort of credible source.
So health is important for you, but what are some of the other key attributes that are important in that point of purchase?
Yeah, it's intriguing because the view is that health and well-being is overwhelmingly important. Well, it is when you talk to consumers, but actually, when it comes to their actions, what they want first of all is taste, and great taste. After all, we put food in our mouths, and secondly, if it's not in a convenient format, then they won't buy, and that means convenient to buy, convenient to prepare, often convenient to eat, often convenient to then to remove the remains. So you can get some great health and well-being positive products, which will never sell because they're just too difficult to consume. Of course, value, price can be very, very important, but increasingly there's the sort of social aspects of food which are important too. The where does food come from? How were the animals treated? How were the workers treated? It's getting more complex.
Yeah. Professor David Hughes, I have enjoyed talking to you immensely. Thank you very much for your time here in New Zealand, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Always enjoy being here.